Welcome to the Crawcast. I'm your host, George Krozak, and these are my predictions for Elimination Chamber Toronto 2025. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. And let's get started. So the first match is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. First of all, I think unsanctioned matches are very funny to me because it's like, okay, WWE does not want this match happening. They are not sanctioning it because it's so terrible that this is happening. So WWE is not supporting or sponsoring this match, yet they're giving it space on their pay-per-view, a bunch of cameras, a ring, and a commentary team. So I just think just the story of unsanctioned matches are just very funny to me. I think Sami Zayn is going to win because I think 100% for sure Randy Orton will return. It is weird to me though because normally when you have big returns like this, it's usually screwing over a babyface. So it seems like in terms of like normal WWE storytelling, it'd be like Randy Orton returns, screws Sami Zayn to help Kevin Owens, and it's a big shocking swerve. Oh no, Randy Orton's a heel now. But it just doesn't make sense for that because Kevin Owens is the one that took out Randy Orton, so why would Randy Orton all of a sudden want to help him? So I think it just makes more sense that Randy Orton will return, help Sami Zayn beat Kevin Owens. And if you look at some of their old matches, the Kevin Steen versus El Generico, I think this really should be a really great match and probably one of the best matches on the show, which kind of surprises me because this feels like more of a WrestleMania match as opposed to Elimination Chamber. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think Randy Orton will return, help Sami Zayn, and then will set up Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton for WrestleMania. The next match is Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I think Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus will win because I just think this will be a good feel-good moment. Everyone likes Tiffany and Trish, and uh, it'll be a nice return for Trish Stratus. Again, it's her hometown. You can't. I know WWE went on a run of everyone losing in their hometown, but I just think this match is purely here so Trish Stratus can get a huge pop in front of her hometown. And it's one of those things where I can see Charlotte potentially coming in and screwing Tiffany Stratton over like right before their big match, but again, this is purely here for one reason only, is for Trish Stratus to get a huge cheer when they win, and Trish probably getting the winning pin. So I think Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus will win. It kind of only makes sense because Nia Jax and Candice LeRae aren't really doing anything at the moment, so they're again. And if you pin Tiffany Stratton, it kind of makes it look like, oh look, either Nia Jax or Candice LeRae deserve a title shot, but Tiffany's facing Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's already locked in. So again, it just makes sense that it's Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. The next match is the Women's Elimination Chamber, which is Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Naomi and versus Roxanne Perez. So this one I've been kind of debating a little bit on. The winner of this will face Rhea Ripley at Elimination Chamber. I think it's going to be Liv Morgan. So basically, I can tell you three people it's not. It's not going to be Bayley, it's not going to be Naomi, and it's not going to be Roxanne Perez. Those three are, I can almost guarantee you are not winning. So let's kind of put the scenarios together. So Liv Morgan, she's been kind of friends and kind of feuding with Rhea Ripley for the past year, and honestly, Rhea Ripley's been kind of a nothing champion. And what I mean by that was she is definitely one of the best wrestlers, women's wrestlers for the past couple of years. But just she seems like just a secondary character as a part of the Judgment Day. Like she really hasn't been that important in her own storylines or in her own matches. So I can really see them doing Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. That's kind of what they've been hinting towards and setting it up for. And then I can see Bianca Belair winning because clearly they want to do Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. That is clearly what they're setting up. I think Bianca Belair was the one that attacked her and took her out of action. And I think it would make sense if it was for the women's title. So have Bianca win this, beat Rhea at Mania, and then transition into Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill at, maybe either SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, kind of whatever you want. But, or sorry, not, yeah, SummerSlam's the next one, but actually, no, it'd be Money in the Bank. But whatever the best pay-per-view they feel comfortable at, it would be Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And the next one is Alexa Bliss, where, She just returned. I don't think WWE really has any plans for her, but she did just return, and it could be a big Mania match, her and Rhea Ripley. And so those are kind of the three I think it's narrowed down to. I kind of want Bianca Belair the most because I think that would, again, it'd be nice for to have the title of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and I think Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair is probably the best match out of all the options. But I think it is going to be Liv Morgan. I think that's the match they set up the most for it to be. And the final match is the men's Elimination Chamber match, which is John Cena versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus Damian Priest and versus Seth Rollins. So this is going to be an interesting one because there's one big story leading into this. Who potentially will be The Rock's corporate champion? So he's hinted that it could be Cody Rhodes. I don't think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been the top merchandise seller and the top babyface. He's working all the house shows. He's constantly showing up on SmackDown. I just don't really see any shot of him turning heel. I think he's too popular right now to turn him heel. So this kind of reminds me of the Deadly Games tournament in, I believe, 1999 at Survivor Series, where so basically you had a tournament and the winner would win the WWE Championship. And basically they hinted that Vince McMahon rigged the tournament for one person to win, who's going to be his corporate champion. And throughout the night, it was basically hinted at that Mankind was going to be his corporate champion, and he was going to rig the tournament for Mankind to win. And then right at the end, there was a big swerve that it turns out Mankind wasn't the corporate champion, it was The Rock who was the corporate champion, who Vince McMahon wanted to win the tournament. So I think there's going to be something like that potentially. So I picked John Cena as the winner because I do think that is the most obvious one. Because John Cena trying to get his 17th world title, break the Ric Flair's record at Mania, I think that's the one that kind of makes the most sense. But in terms of being the corporate champion, I don't think it's going to be John Cena, just because I think it's a little bit too obvious. Even CM Punk hinted at Raw that it could be John Cena, so since they've kind of teased it, I think it's too obvious to be him. And also, I think you run the risk of him not getting booed, because right now John Cena's in his retirement tour, and I think we're at the point where he, just because people are like, how do I say, so grateful that he's wrestling in front of them and they're seeing him for the final time, I don't think they're going to boo him, which will be an issue. And then you have CM Punk, who it could be, but again, I think his return's too new, and it's a little bit weird him selling his soul to The Rock. And then Seth Rollins, he's not going to win because he's going to face Roman at Mania. And then you have Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. I don't think it's Logan Paul. He's too much of a part-timer. Although, I'm going to be honest, I kind of want Logan Paul to win just because I think it'd be really funny where the match we were supposed to get at Mania was The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, and the match we actually get is Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes in the main event at WrestleMania. Anyways, I just think that'd be funny, but I don't think Logan Paul really has a shot at winning. So then that narrows it down to Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. And I think Drew McIntyre, I'm going to go with, has kind of the biggest shot to win it. Because these two are the two kind of curveballs where Damian Priest is the younger guy, but I think Drew McIntyre has established himself as a bigger top star. And so he can say, hey, CM Punk screwed me out of the title at, what was it, Clash at the Castle. He screwed me out of the title on Raw to face Damian Priest at Backlash. He screwed me out of the title at Mania. And he screwed me out of the title at, what was it, at Money in the Bank. And so he can keep saying, hey, I keep getting screwed, so I had no choice. I had to sell my soul to The Rock and become his corporate champion. And I think it does make sense because the past couple of years he's been on kind of like a little bit of a Sheamus run in the sense of having like banger after banger where almost all his matches for the past couple of years have been super good. And I think definitely people can buy him as a top champion if he defeats Cody Rhodes at Mania. I can see a similar thing with Damian Priest where it's like, okay, create a new star, have him be the Rock's corporate champion. It's just tougher because I don't think Damian Priest has much credibility as Drew McIntyre, and I don't think the fans really see him as a top star as much as Drew McIntyre and some of these other guys. But it's kind of one of those where it's like my dark horse pick. I really want to pick Drew McIntyre, but John Cena is such the obvious choice that I feel like I need to pick John Cena. And then I'm just kind of waiting for one moment where I was hoping that the John Cena and CM Punk would be the final two, but apparently it's at the Royal Rumble, but it wasn't. Where they're both faces, so they didn't fight each other at Rumble. But I thought they were gonna be the final two, and then turn and face each other, and effectively be like, hey, we don't want to fight each other, but we have to win. So that's gonna happen here, where there's gonna be the two of them in the ring together, and be like, okay, hey, we have to have like a mini match together. I don't know if they want to make it the final two, or maybe make Punk and Cena the starting two, and have them go. And I also want to say about the chamber as well, is I understand having the guys and girls falling on metal crates probably not the best idea, but I feel like they've ruined it with the redesign where like having them fall on the pads, it just looks bad. I just don't think that looks right. And then also if Logan Paul and Punk, it seems like they're probably facing each other at Mania. That's what's getting set up here. So, anyways, that's why at the end of the day, I think it will be John Cena, but my dark horse pick is Drew McIntyre. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money, and I'll see you on the next one.